This conference will now be recorded.
Which are going to be available. You try to apply from JavaScript. At the same time, you people try to apply from the HTML. From HTML, if you are applying, you have to write attribute. That is the first case. Okay. So today we will discuss about a concept called set attribute, get attribute, remove attribute. There are three important functions which are going to be available. Attribute manipulation. Attribute manipulation on top of element. See, for each and every HTML element, for each and one second.
This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, there are multiple kind of events we done. Next, attribute manipulation. Attribute manipulation in JavaScript. So how we are going to be manipulate attributes through JavaScript? See, for every HTML element, there are multiple attributes available. Number of attributes. Tell me attribute names. Tell me attribute names. Some attribute called title, some attribute called style, some attribute called src, some attribute called href, some attribute called width, some attribute called height, some attribute called scripta, onload, some attribute called so there are multiple events. Any other attributes? Most of the attributes are written. So there are some common attributes, there are some special attributes. So what are the common attributes for HTML elements? Common attribute means for every element these attributes will be available. For every element these kind of attributes will be available. Those are the common attributes. So what are the different kind of common attributes which are available? One is the title, one is the style, one is the these events, all the events which are going to be a common attributes for each and every element. So I'm just writing like this. Number of events which are going to be available, those are the common attributes for each and every element. But some elements which is going to be having special attributes. So what are the special attributes which are available? Special attributes. What are the different kind of special attributes means? One is the src. src is the special attribute. href is the special attribute. Yes or no? And type is the special attribute. Type is the special attribute. Okay. So src for mostly images, iframes, and one more is script tag. Internal script. Whenever you are writing internal script, script tag is there. So for script tag, we need to give the src. And ifg, whenever you want to load some images, source path is compulsory. That is called src. And iframes, whenever you want to load inner frames, src is mandatory. Source is mandatory. So src is the special attribute, guys. And href, when href is going to be using link tag, anchor tag, and one more is please. Okay, there are some special attributes which are available. src, href, type. One sec.
This conference will now be recorded.
There is an attribute called a type attribute. This is also special attribute. Okay, one more. Yeah, so whenever you have a different kind of attributes, these kind of attributes manipulated by the JavaScript. So in the part of the DOM operations, DOM means what? Document object model. In DOM, document is very important object. Document is user interface element, UI element. where user can able to interact with. That is called a document. On top of document, HTML elements are there. On top of the document, HTML elements are there. On top of the document, we will be having a lot of elements. On top of elements, we are going to be writing. On top of elements, we are going to be writing CSS. On top of this HTML, CSS, and we are going to be applying JS. But elements have some special features like attributes. Attributes are nothing but properties of elements. For example, you take a cat have number of attributes. If you take a dog have number of attributes. If you take a person have number of attributes. This person having number of attributes like name, nickname, hairstyle, color, all those things, weight. But this person is smiling, this person is singing, this person is talking, this person is watching. All these particular points, works, functions. Is it clear? So, but element, we don't have any function right now. Elements have attributes now. Attribute nothing but property, state of an object. Okay, we have the paragraph, we have the division, we have the heading, we have the form, we have the table. For each and every element, a number of attributes are there. These attributes are on top of element. Okay, so how these attributes are manipulating dynamically? How these attributes are manipulating dynamically means I try to add one element, I try to delete one element, I try to remove some element, I try to change some element, all those things. Set attribute, get attribute, remove attribute. Three methods. A DOM, inside the DOM, we already understand some DOM architecture and we already discussed some points in DOM. One is access elements from HTML to JS. Access elements from HTML to JS. We already done with this. And one more thing we done, access classes from HTML to JS. This is already we done. And one more, access ID from HTML to JS. This is also we done. But very simple, right? How to access elements? One more time, I'm writing the syntax, guys. Document dot get elements. Remember it. This is plural, elements. Document dot get elements by tag name. T capital letter, A in capital letter. Camel case. This is called camel case. Okay, name of the tag. Whatever the tag you have, that tag name you can. And you have to give the index of the array. This is the syntax for accessing elements from HTML to JavaScript. Next, we have the one more concept, accessing classes from HTML to JavaScript. How to accessing classes from HTML to JavaScript? Document dot get elements by class name, not tag name. This time it is class, and this time it is class, and index is common. And one more thing, ID. How to access ID? Document dot get element by ID, not element. This will be ID now. I capital letter ID, and here it should be ID name. And there is no index. Just remove the index. So these three methods are very important on top of the DOM manipulation. We are trying to accessing elements. That is we done. Now Rama. Okay, you are accessing elements, you are accessing classes, we are accessing ID. This is the first case. And the second case, we done with the one more DOM manipulation. What we done? We accessed inner text. See, all these are methods. Try to understand the methods and syntaxes. Access inner text. How to access inner text? Dot inner HTML. Everybody remember it? Dot inner HTML is the syntax. And one more thing, one more point we done. This is what actually all DOM manipulation operations. And one more thing we done. How to provide style. Add style for element. Add style for element. How we done this? Dot style dot property is equal to value. For example, dot style dot color is equal to red. Dot style dot text align is equal to center. So we are giving a lot of things like this. And example for the inner HTML. Dot inner HTML is equal to, I'm going to be writing some context inside. So hello. So we are accessing some elements, we are accessing inner text, we are adding styles, all those things will be done with the DOM. There is a one more feature for the DOM. That is what actually attribute access. And one more point, how to access attribute, how to set attribute, how to remove attribute. How to access attribute? Access attribute nothing but get attribute. Okay, so attribute access, and attribute access is what actually get attribute method. What is that? Get attribute. Method is get attribute, and attribute name. Attribute name, whatever you want, you can specify. Whatever the attribute name you have to specify that. That is the attribute access. Next, set attribute. One more is set attribute. How to set attribute? There is no attribute available. I want to set attribute. How to set attribute dynamically from JavaScript. So whenever you want to go with the set attribute, attribute you need to set. Suppose I want to set an attribute called style, and I need to give. Yeah, that's it. I want to set an attribute. That attribute name called style attribute I need to get set. That's all. Then one more is remove attribute. Remove attribute. How to remove attribute? Remove attribute. That's it. Remove attribute. See, methods are very simple. Just try to remember. Just try to remember and do the practice. Whenever you are doing the practice, only the problem is camel case. If you are missing the case, if you are missing the capital letter to small letter to capital letter, you have to check the browser console, identify the error, resolve the error. Why? Because of JavaScript is not compile based programming. JavaScript is interpreted programming. Whenever it is getting interpreting line by line execution, in somewhere some line we got an issue, we did a mistake. Some letter capital letter we did small letter, some letter small letter we did a capital letter. In that case, it is not giving the output. So don't take tense. If it is HTML, element is not visible means I'm not writing the tag properly. That is okay. If it is CSS, if color is not applying, I'm not giving color properly. We can able to understand. But this is not HTML and CSS. This is JavaScript. Whenever you are doing the practice on top of JavaScript, you need to check always console, browser console. I told you browser console is the engine of the web page. The main soul of the web page is the browser console. Console always tracks JavaScript. JavaScript is completely running by the console. The networks, protocols, services, request, response. If you are doing click is already tracking by the browser. And browser is going to be handling a lot of things. Browser is going to be handling the browser history. Browser is going to be handling the navigation pages. And browser is going to be handling by the locations, current locations. And browser is going to be handling the maps, video playing, audio playing, lot of things. Browser is. Without browser, world will not run. Without browser, without google.com, without YouTube, without Stack Overflow, without some tutorial, something like whatever it is. 20 years back, there is no YouTube. 20 years back, yes, I know. 20 or 15 years back, there is no YouTube. There is no that much internet access with your hands, with your pockets. Nowadays, in your pockets, internet is there. In your watch, internet is there. A number of gadgets came into the picture. Everything is manipulating by the browser. So try to understand JavaScript is actually handling by the browser. We try to understand the DOM manipulations first. Then we will go to the browser manipulations. Then we will go to the CSS manipulations, all these things. Okay, so come to the remove attribute. How to remove attribute, we will see. Set attribute, how to set attribute, we will see. Get attribute, we will see. Can I write a program? Yes. First of all, I am saving the notes. What is the date today? It's 10. Let me take a new program and save it as attribute manipulation. Okay, let me write a script. Before the script, I want to write an element. I want to write an element, h1. So inside the h1, I'm writing some context. Full stack web development. That's it. And after that, I'm trying to writing some script. How to access the element? First case, first point. Access element. How to access element? Very, very simple. Document dot get elements by class name or tag name, whatever you want. Tag name. Okay. Then name of the tag. h1 of 0. That is the first case. And the second step. Any attribute available for element? Any attribute available right now? No attributes are there. So I try to assign one attribute for the element. Okay, so let it be. I just want to write some internal style. Internal style. I'm trying to writing a class called Srinivas. I'm trying to writing some class called Srinivas. This is the class. This is the class. In CSS, I'm trying to writing one class. That class name is Srinivas. Dot Srinivas. Okay, for Srinivas, I'm trying to writing something like a color is going to be red. Background color, which is going to be, let me go with the for Selka. This one. Then text align, center. Font style, italic. I'm trying to writing some class. What I want to do is I just want to apply this class to h1. That is my requirement. That is my requirement. So how to apply this class to the element? Just try to work out. Okay, so what is the element? This is the element. Can I store this element? Where ele is equal to. This is the variable basically. Where ele is nothing but element is equal to document dot get elements by tag. Okay, now I can able to access the ele, right? I can able to make reference of the element is ele. Ele is my variable. Okay, now so second point is set attribute. Dynamically we are setting attribute. How to set attribute? ele dot set attribute. ele dot set attribute. Okay, for this set attribute method, we have to write two parameters. The first parameter is what is the name of the attribute. The first parameter is what is the name of the attribute. Second parameter is what is the name of the class. What is the name of the class? Srinivas. Try to understand. Set attribute is the method, JavaScript method. For this JavaScript method, we are having two parameters. First parameter is class. Second parameter is Srinivas. Okay, finally, without this method, how the program will be? Without this method, how the program will be? Just plain H1, which is not having any style, which is not having any color, which is not having any background color, which is not going to be having like little bit style alignment, center alignment, all these things. But I want to apply the class now. I want to apply the class now. How to apply the class? Just very simple. ELE dot set attribute class name, class name, and finally class got attached. Dynamically class got attached. Okay, so I do one thing. When we do mouse over, I want to apply the class. When we do mouse over, I want to apply the class. When we do mouse out, I need to remove the class. So we'll do one simple application, a small application. We'll do one simple application, a small application. When we do the mouse over, that is going to be a different, and when we do mouse out, that is going to be a different. The second part we will do that. So first you need to try to understand set attribute is working or not. Now, what is the class? So let me right click on this, go to the inspector. This is the inspector, right? So inspector and check with the HTML. You'll be having the body, you'll be having the H1 class added. Class added. Can you see the class? Online people, understand where is the class got attached? I can able to track my HTML. I can able to track my script. I can able to track my CSS. Everything is possible by the JavaScript. Okay, so this is what actually the thing is. Set attribute is working. The next one is going to be remove attribute. The next one is going to be remove attribute. Okay, how to remove attribute? How to remove attribute? Remove attribute. How to remove attribute? Element dot remove attribute. What is the name of the attribute you want to remove? What is the name of the attribute you want to remove? I can remove the class. One attribute got added, class got added. I'm just removing the class. So finally output will be what? What happened? So class already added, class already deleted. Can you see the H1 now? Is there any class? Is there any class now? There is no class. Okay, let me try to add one more attribute called style attribute. You know style attribute, right? You know style attribute. Style attribute, this will be green. Just style attribute is available. Style attribute is available. Style attribute is available. Let me do something. The third method, access attribute or get attribute. How to get attribute? Element dot get attribute. What is the name of the attribute? Style attribute. Okay. So for this, I want to show the alert box. Can I show the alert? So let me right click on this. Alert. What is the value for the style? Color green. We got it. So I'm trying to accessing something. So alert is working before the document. Alert working from window. It means first alert came. After alert box, you will be having a document. On top of the document, you will be having the green color element. So why this green color is coming? Why green color is coming? Green color is coming from style, inline style. There is one attribute already given called style. From that style, it is coming. Okay, coming down. Just try to understand these four methods. First process is access element. Second process is set attribute. Third process is remove attribute. Fourth process is get attribute. Okay, so let me do one more simple example on this attribute manipulation, attribute assignment. Okay, let me give one simple assignment, and you can do a lot of things. I'm trying to working with the image img src is equal to, I want to add one image for this. Okay, let me write a script for this. Script document dot get elements by tag name. Name of the tag is img dot set attribute. No, sorry, img of 0 dot set attribute, and attribute is src, and the value is a different now, comma, a value is different now. Okay, first of all, I want to take one src for the image. First of all, I will take one src for the image. Okay, let me take different kind of images. Copy image address and placed here. So what I want to do, I will do the mouse over on this. I will do the mouse over on this. How to do the mouse over? Dot add event listener. Mouse over. Add event listener mouse over, comma, function. Function 1. And try to write a function. Function fun1, and which is going to be having this one, attribute set. Okay, so for this src, what I want to do, I will change the image. I will change this image to this image. Copy image address, put src over there. When we do the mouse over, I just want to go this one. And let me write some style sheet for this. img, sorry, style and img, width of the image, height of the image. Width of the image 150 pixel, height of the image also 150 pixel, just making pixel, and border radius 15 pixel. Let me give 15 or 10, and border 5 pixel, solid green. Yeah, fine. Now check it out. Right click on this. We have the image. When we do mouse over, yeah. One thing. So this will be something like 450. Bit bigger one. And when we do mouse out, I need to replace the image. How to replace the image with the mouse out? So this time it is function 2, and call the function 2, and here mouse out. For mouse out, I just want to take the different image. What is the image I want to take? This one. Copy this and place it here. Now just try to execute application. Yes, and we can do animations on this. We can do different kind of animations on this with CSS3. With the CSS3 we can do different kind of animations. From JavaScript also we can do different kind of animations. With the JavaScript, no sorry, with the jQuery we can do animations. jQuery have a new feature called animations. So when I come to the jQuery, I'm going to be explaining you a different kind of animations. When we do mouse over, this image is going to be making some slide. Width is increasing, height is increasing. And when we hover on this, it is going to be slide up. When we hover on this, it is going to be transparent mode. So there are a lot of animations, transitions. I will show in the part of jQuery and CSS3. CSS3 is good, at the same time jQuery also good for the animations and different kind of new features, new functions got added. JavaScript, if you want to do the same animation, it will be a lengthy process, lengthy code you have to write. No need to go for the JavaScript for that. We have the jQuery, we have the CSS3, we have to utilize it. Finally, the thing is output. Finally, the thing is execution. User want output. What you're writing C++, you're writing Java, you're writing C#, you're writing JavaScript, they don't want. Finally, they want output. The output should be something like animation. If they are actually asking animation, okay, let it be, I will do. Then call up the CSS3, call up the jQuery, apply it. Enough. No need to write C program. No need to write C++ program. No need to write Java program. No need to write JavaScript also. If you want to do the same thing, this is JavaScript. We need to write a lengthy code, right? How much code I am writing? For simple image change, SRC change, how much code I am writing? Bigger image, bigger code. Huh? A lot of code I am writing. But this much code also not required in jQuery. jQuery 2 lines. jQuery 2 or 3 lines enough. That's a good one. Okay. So fine. Try to do different kind of assignments on this attribute manipulation. Different kind of assignments. So I will give you some assignments on this. You try to work out on this. Next. So we done with the variables, huh? Variables, concept called variables. We done or not? Started variables. We people done with variables. And in the part of variables, we have to go with the two kind of things. One is the array, one is the object. Okay. Tell me what is array? What is array? Array is what? Collection of similar or non-similar elements. Collection of similar or non-similar elements. Okay, so how to define array in the JavaScript? In JavaScript, array is going to be defining with square brackets. And here you have to specify one is object, one is array, one is string, one is number. So we don't care about it. Number. But remember one point here. In array, in JavaScript array, elements are separated with comma. Elements are separated with comma. One more point. In JavaScript array, last element we don't give comma. Please don't give comma for the last element. If you are giving comma, it will give the error. And one more point. In JavaScript, array described with square brackets. Sir, no. So some of the few points I'm writing for the array. Just try to understand array. Okay, so let me take a different kind of array. So let me take number array. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me take a string array. Let me take apple. Then no, Samsung. I know you not banana. Apple, Samsung, Lenovo. Nexus. Fine. So this is one array. Now we'll go for the object. What is object? Object is collection of key value pairs. Object is collection of key value pairs. Yes. And one more point. Key must be string. Key must be string. And value can be any kind of data. Value can be any kind of data. One more point. In JS object, key value pair are separated with comma. Yeah. This one. In JS object, key and value separated with colon. In JS object, key value pairs are separating with comma, key and value separated with the colon. Okay, let me write one syntax for the object. This is the object. Curly braces open. Okay, let me write one more point. In JavaScript, object described with flower braces anochu. Okay, so then I just want to go with something like name. What's your name? Anusha. Akila. You're Akila, right? Who's Akila? You're Akila. Okay, Akila. Spelling okay? K-H-A, K-Na? Okay, Akila. And comma. Qualification. CA. Right? CA. Basic computers. Okay, fine. CA. And salary. Something like 45,000. Okay. Just try to observe key and value separated with colon. Key value pair separated with comma. Last key value pair. Okay, so key and value separated with comma, and last key value pair do not have comma. Yes or no? Okay, so this is object, and try to understand what is the JavaScript array, what is the JavaScript object. Why? Because in the next level I want to explain JSON. JSON syntax similar like JavaScript array, JavaScript object. JSON defined with data storage, data transport between the client and server. And JSON is a very, very important topic. JavaScript with the JSON is a very, very important topic. A lot of interview questions will come on top of JSON. You try to understand how the JSON will be, how we are going to be described with the JSON. JSON have two kind of data formats. One is the array format, one is the object format. Array format is nothing but collection of values. Object format is nothing but collection of key value pairs. And this JSON is going to be using for MongoDB, guys. When you people are working with the MongoDB is the document-based database, no SQL database. Document-based database, nothing but object database. You'll be having array set, you'll be having object set. So if you understand JSON properly, 30-40% MongoDB you can able to easily understand. 30% MongoDB enough. the basics of the MongoDB is going to be a JSON. Without knowing JSON, you can't able to learn the MongoDB. Anyway, we are going to be discussing about the MongoDB later. Before the MongoDB, I'm going to be explaining the JSON in the part of the JavaScript. Again, JSON is utilized in the JavaScript, and JSON is utilized in the Python, and JSON is going to be utilized in the Django. Why Django? Django is the service where you can able to create service as APIs. API is nothing but what? Some sort of request, some sort of response. If you want to give a request, you need to send with a JSON. And if you want to take the response, go with the JSON. Everywhere JSON is available. Ajax. In jQuery, Ajax is there. HTTP, REST API. So I'll deal with one important concept with you guys later. That is called REST API. With Django REST API, nobody is going to be available in the market. Damn sure. So many Django people are there, but these people are not having the model called the REST API. REST API is very highlighting in the market now. IT. REST API with Angular, REST API with React, REST API with Django, REST API with Flask. REST API is different, Fast API is different. Don't ask me what is REST API, what Fast API. REST API taking rest, Fast API moving fast. REST API taking rest, Fast API moving fast. That is the what definition. No. REST API for services. Fast API is the server side programming. REST API is one kind of segmentation for the request response. Fast API is server side programming. One more server side programming like Django, like Flask, like Java, like .NET, like PHP, Fast API. And Fast API also developed by Python. So we'll see that later. Now come to JavaScript array, JavaScript object. Everybody got to understand what is JavaScript array, what is JavaScript object? Is there any confusion with this? Till now.
This conference will now be recorded.
JSON is JavaScript object notation. JSON is JavaScript object notation. JavaScript object notation. And JSON is lightweight text data interchangeable format. Interchangeable format. Next, JSON is language independent. JSON is language independent. JSON is not JavaScript. Not JavaScript. And JSON have two kind of file formats. Two kind of file formats. One is JSON object. One is JSON array. One is JSON object, one is JSON array. And first we will see one more point. JSON is faster than XML. JSON is simple. JSON works with all programming languages for request and response. Request and response. And there are two kind of formats for the JSON. First one is a JSON object, one is a JSON array. So let us go with the JSON object first. JSON object is actually starts with JSON object starts with curly braces closed with curly braces. And JSON object is collection of key value pairs. Collection of key value pairs. Value pairs. And one more point. In JSON object, key must be string. In JSON object, key must be string. And one more point. In JSON object, string takes only double quotes. Single quotes will not work. Only double quotes will work. Quotes are quotes. In JSON object, string takes only double quotes. Single quotes will not work. One more point. Every key value pair separated with the comma, and the last key value pair do not have comma. One more point. Value can be any data type. It means it could be a number, could be a string, it could be an array, it could be an object, it could be a null value, or it could be a Boolean value. So that is JSON object. Next we'll go for JSON array. Before that, I want to give the syntax for the JSON object. What is the JSON object syntax? Curly braces open, curly braces close. This is the key and this is the value. For example, this is a string. Okay, single quotes will not take, sorry. It will take only double quotes. Next, key and value. This kind of value is a number. And one more, key and value. This time this value is array. One more, key value. This time it is an object. Key and value. This time it is a Boolean. So this is what actually the syntax of the JSON file. Syntax is very simple, guys. Curly braces open, curly braces close. Inside this, key must be string. Key could not be any kind of data. But value can be any kind of data. Value is sometimes string, sometimes number, sometimes array, sometimes object, sometimes a Boolean value, sometimes a null value. So this is a simple syntax of the JSON. So I will give one example later. So let me go with the one more concept called JSON array. Copy this JSON array. What is this JSON array? JSON array starts with the square braces, closed with the square braces. JSON array starts with the square braces, closed with the square braces. Second point, JSON array is a collection of values. In JSON array, key must be string. In JSON array, no, there is no key, right? In JSON array, string takes only double quotes. That could be fine. And every value separated with a comma. And the last value do not have comma. And value can be any data type. That is okay. Collection of values means value could be any kind of data. Okay. So let me write the syntax for the JSON array. What is the JSON array syntax? Square braces. And this is going to be having multiple kind of values. This is my first value. First value is an object. Second value is a string, something like 3. Second value is going to be a string. And the third value may be a number. Third value may be a number, but yeah, so this could be something like one. And fourth value could be an array. Fourth value could be an array, maybe. And fifth value could be a boolean. And fifth last value could be an object. Boolean object. Yeah, this is simple complex JSON array syntax. Array starts with what? Array starts with what? Square braces. Closed with what? Square braces. And first value is, second value is, third value is, fourth value is array. Fifth value, sixth value, object. Object, string, number, array, boolean, again object. Don't confuse with this. So this structure is very, very important for the MongoDB. And this particular JSON structure need to be very, very important for the Python and Python Django and Python class, where we are going to be working with a full stack web application. There we will be having a request response procedures. There this concept is very, very important. You are getting the response, response nothing but a collection of records you are getting. So whenever you click on Apple, suppose for example, Amazon.in. For example, I am going to be searching for the Apple products, Apple iPhone. When I am going to be searching for Apple iPhone, there are number of records are coming, right? Number of records, thousands of records will come. All these particular records actually a format of the data, JSON data. Maybe this data is going to be stored in the relational database, non-relational database, SQL database, no SQL database. We don't care about the database first of all. The data format we are receiving in the form of JSON. Receiving in the form of JSON, storing in the form of JSON means very, very simple way. You can able to easily understand how the data is actually stored and what is the key for that. Key is nothing but Apple iPhone. Based on the Apple iPhone, I can able to get a number of records. Based on the Apple, I can able to get a number of records. Apple key is different. Apple space iPhone key is different. Okay, one again. Samsung key is different. Based on the Samsung, you can able to get a number of records. These records stored under the Samsung key. Some of the records stores under the Lenovo key. Some of the records stores under the kids related things. A very huge application is going to be having a lot of data. All this particular data is going to be storing in the form of JSON in MongoDB. If it is a relational database, data is going to be storing in the tables. You have to create a new table for Samsung. You have to create a new table for the Lenovo. You have to create a new table for kids. Inside the kids, again, you have to give the one more schema. There are a number of schemas. You have to go with the SQL, Oracle, whatever it may be. But this one, MongoDB, Postgres, these are very, very important databases. And for those particular databases, okay, even it is a relational database, even it is a Oracle or SQL Server or MySQL, we are receiving the data from the server. Server is going to be process the data in the form of JSON. So I'm not talking about the databases. I'm talking about the application. I'm talking about the full stack application. How client and server is going to be integrating with or communicating with. Client side React.js, server side Django. Client side React.js, server side PHP. Client side React.js, server side Java. Client side React.js, server side .NET. We don't care about this particular services. These services are communicating with the relational database or these services are communicating with the NoSQL databases. We don't care about it. But here, some communication between the client and server, this particular client server communication is going to be happening with form of JSON. Request response completely working on JSON. So that is the why reason I have to go with the JSON in the JavaScript first. JavaScript also having some methods to manipulate JSON files, JSON content. So try to understand. So let me go. I want to create a new file. And one more important point you have to remember, all JSON files are saving with nodes. All JSON files are saving with what kind of format? Saving with all JSON files are saving with which format? Dot JSON format. All HTMLs are saving with dot HTML. All CSS files are saving with dot CSS. All JavaScript files are saving with, all React components are saving with React components dot .js or dot .jsx. No worries. No worries. All Python files are saving with Python files dot. That's it. Simple. So JSON files are saving with dot .json. XML files are saving with XML. Not Excel. XML. XML files dot. Very good. Okay, so some more notes I'm writing here, and let me save this one. Employee dot JSON. Employee object dot JSON. Employee object dot JSON. So how object will be? Curly braces open, curly braces close. Employee underscore name. Employee underscore name. Something like Pavani. Unnava? Unda Pavani ival class lo? Unda? Ivana Pavani? Okay. So the first one is employee name. Second one is employee ID. Employee ID 007. And this will be a number. Next one, employee salary could be 1 lakh. Can I give like this? Can I give like this? Why? What is this? Is it a number? Is it a number? Is it a string? Does this have any meaning? No. So whenever you're writing something, careful. But can I give like this? Can I give like this? Yes, I can able to give. Why not? Why not? I can able to give. That is a string, right? What happened? Okay, fine. This is string. You can able to give like this. But let me check. Copy this. There is a website called JSON Validator. JSON Validator. Maybe JSON will not accept that particular character. I think so. JSONlinter.com. There is a website called JSONlinter.com. Copy paste your content and click on validate JSON. So validation is not done. What is the problem with the validation? The problem is that where is the problem? Employee ID 007 not identifying. Why not identifying? Maybe the problem of this ID is not accepting, guys. Yeah, this would be valid JSON. So where is the issue we are doing? I don't know. So employee name is Pavani, employee ID is 1001, and employee salary is something like can I give number for this? Fine. This is object. Can I go with array now? How to create array? Employee array dot JSON. Employee array dot JSON. So this will be array. First employee. First employee. Now second employee. Third employee. 3 employees I will write. And this one, Likita. Likita is there in the class? Who is Likita? One is Likita, one is Akila. Nice names. Like 20,000. Akila is there? Akila is there? Okay. 2, 3. I don't give your names. Huh? Yeah. So this is the JSON file. Let me copy this. Paste. Valid JSON. Valid JSON. Yes, this is valid JSON. We don't have any issues. JSON validation. Whenever you want to validate your JSON file, you have to go with the website called jsonlint.com. So let me write a point here. Validate JSON files or JSON content. Validate JSON content, this URL www.jsonlint.com. So practice with the JSON writing first. How to write an object, how to write an array. So try to write a number of examples on JSON. So create your college details. Create your college details in the part of JSON. Create your village details in the part of JSON. Create a product details in the part of JSON. Create shopping details, shopping in the part of JSON. Whatever it is, create some elections, create some sports. So whatever you want, you take an example, take some data, records, and that particular records you have to give into the part of JSON. Create an object, create an array, whatever it may be. Okay, so let me write a complex example. One more example, complex example. Employees dot JSON. So this is simple complex example I will write. 2 examples I will write. One is the employees, one is the products. And remaining you people do. But little bit complex. Complex nothing but hierarchy. We need to have multiple levels. In this 2 JSON files, we don't have any levels. This is not having any internal level. Only we have the key value ended. And here, this is also not having any levels. Array is the box. Inside the box, you have some objects. Object is nothing but a record. So you have the number of objects. First employee, second employee, third employee, Pavani, Likita, Akila. That's it. This is not complex. Everybody can able to easily understand. So first learn with the small example. Then try to understand with the complexity of the file. Now try to write a complex file which is going to be having multiple levels of the employees. So there are multiple kind of employees are there. How many kind of employees are there? Public employees or government employees? Huh? Government employees. One array. Government employees, one array. Comma. One collection of key value pair, right? One key value pair is done. And second key value pair, private employees. Oh, sorry. Private employees also having array. How many key value pairs are there now? How many key value pairs are there? Inside this array, inside this particular JSON file, how many key value pairs are there? Online people, no response. In this hierarchy, how many key value pairs are there?
12.
Etla sir?
2. 2, sir.
Antena. Just 2. So 2 key value pairs. And can I give one more employee? What employee? Contractor. So ఇంకొకటి ఏదో X employees.
Contract.
Contract లేదు X employees, huh? X employees అంటే ఏంటి? యూజర్ అయిన వాళ్ళని X employees అంటారు. Okay, so these are the multiple kind of employees. First employees is government employees, second employees is private employees, third employees is the X employees. Okay, these are the multiple employees. Take these employees. Bit complex. Bit complex. Bit complex. This is the JSON file, but which is going to be having one more level inside. Root level is object. Inside object, key value pair array. Inside array, again objects. Am I right? Okay, so you can change the names. What is your name? Balak. I told you, na, I can give your name. And one more is Asmadullah. And that's it enough. Try to create a hierarchy like this. Try to create a hierarchy like this. Take a number of records, number of products, and try to go with the complexity. Start with the small one. Start with the small one. Few records in object, few records in array. That's it. That is okay. I can able to understand the JSON first. Then try to make it improve like number of levels. For example, if you create a college JSON, college records, all college records with the JSON files. In college, number of branches are there. Take each and every branch. CSE, one section. ECE, one section. EEE, one section. IT, one section. Inside CSE, number of blocks. Block A, one section. Block B, one section. Block C, one section. Inside the block A, girls, boys, one section. Girls, one section. Boys, one section. Teachers, one section. You try to make it implement like this. You take a pen and paper first. Draw the hierarchy first. On top of the hierarchy, you have to prepare the file. You have to prepare the JSON file. And you work with the JSON file into the program. You parse this JSON content into the program. Visualize in the HTML. Obviously, you can able to do any kind of complex example in the real time. In real time, most of the JSON files, data records, which are going to be fetching with the API response. Whenever you got the response, that response will be in the format of JSON. That JSON we can able to find in the console. Whenever you are getting response as a JSON file, you have to parse it. You have to make it split. You have to make it convert the JSON file into the JS first. Why? Because of HTML can able to understand only JavaScript. HTML can't able to understand JSON directly. HTML, JSON, there is no communication, guys. HTML and JSON, there is no communication. But I want to show the JSON data on top of the HTML. Then who is the mediator? Who is the mediator? HTML, JSON content. Who is the mediator between these two? JavaScript is the mediator. What JavaScript can do? JavaScript can do parse JSON to JS first. If it is JS object, if it is a JS array, you can able to bind into the HTML. Got my point? Structure. Okay, suppose this is your web page. This is your web page, and this is your JS1 file. This is your web page. This is your JS1 file. Web page containing what? HTML. And somewhere you will be having a root map. You will be having some JavaScript somewhere. So what JavaScript can do? Suppose I want to send a request. I want to send a request. Somewhere you will be having some servers. Okay, ekkado server undi. Ekkado server. Ekkado server undi. This somewhere you will be having server. Somewhere you will be having server. Somewhere you will be having database. Somewhere you will be having database. So I'm not making drawing this to very big actually. Why? Because of we need to understand this concept now. We need to understand this concept now. Okay. Whenever I want to send a request is going to be sending from the forms, from the search boxes. So whenever you are requesting for iPhone or you are requesting for clothes in the Amazon, what is happening? First of all, this request is going to be sending to the, or the value is going to be sending in the JavaScript. Whatever the value from HTML, it is capturing by the JavaScript. Value captured by the JavaScript, first of all. HTML value, text box value. Here you will be having a text box. Just try to understand, guys. Try to understand. Here you will be having some text box, and you are searching for something. You are searching for something. Whenever you are searching for something, first of all, that value got captured. Value got captured by JavaScript first, and the value is going to be converting into JSON. Captured value is going to be converting into JSON first. Without converting JSON, server can't able to understand. నా ఫోన్ హర్లో ఉందా, స్విచ్ ఆఫ్ లో ఉందా, సైలెంట్ ఉందా? నా ఫోన్ సైలెంట్ లో ఉంటుంది. కామన్ సెన్స్. నెక్స్ట్ టైం డోంట్ రిపీట్. ఐఎమ్ సీరియస్. అప్పుడప్పుడు value is going to be captured by the JavaScript. మంచి మూడ్లో ఉన్నప్పుడు జడగొట్టినా మర్చిపోతాం. Value is going to be captured by the JavaScript, and then that particular value stringifying with the JSON. Stringifying. So this is going to be having a very good concept here. That concept is called JSON.stringify. What is this? JSON.stringify. This is the method we have to use. This is the method we have to use for stringifying the content into the JSON. Then this JSON is going to be sending to server. This JSON sending to server with API, application programming interface. With API, application programming interface. Then server is going to be do the process and check with the database. Check with the database. If the data is available, okay, few records find, 100 records find. Database sending back to the server. And again, this is going to be doing process and giving one API. And this API sending data as a form of JSON again. JSON is the big mediator. JavaScript is the client-side mediator. JSON is the big mediator between the client-side system and server-side system. JavaScript is the mediator between the JSON to HTML. CSS is there. CSS on top of HTML. That is one simple makeup. CSS is just makeup. Functional HTML JavaScript communication. JavaScript JSON communication. JSON API communication, API database communication, that is functional. The flow of the web application, a full stack web application is going to be designed like this. And now, when the data came into the part of JSON content, JSON file, a very big file, that is going to be again sending back to the JavaScript. This is the having a very important method we have to use. Now this is called JSON dot parse. JSON dot no silent ఉన్నప్పుడు feel అయినవా అయినా పర్లే JSON dot parse. And again parsing is done. Now your JSON converted to the JavaScript. Now JavaScript is having two type of collections. What are the two type of collections in JavaScript? One is object, one is the array. Today I started with these two things. Why I started initial object JavaScript object, JavaScript array, I started with the class. Why I started? Here you need to understand. What is the importance of the JavaScript object? What is the importance of the JavaScript array? So here we are having something like object here. This is object, and this is array. And this is binding. Object is going to be binding to the HTML. Very simple way. We have to do the program for that. We have to write the program for that. And finally, you are giving request, you are taking response. Requested data, responsive data. Requested data, responsive data. Both are actually saving with JSON or manipulating with JSON. Got my point, everyone? What is? It's very simple. Then the next. There are two important methods. First method is JSON.stringify. JSON.stringify. One more method is JSON.parse. So try to understand these methods. JSON capital letters, stringify small letters. This method, JSON capital letters, parse small letters. Okay, so what stringify can do? Oh my god. So converting JS object or JS array to JSON object or JSON array. That's it. Suppose you will be having JS object, that is going to be converting into, there is a one method called JSON.stringify in between. You'll be having JSON.stringify. What JSON.stringify can do? This is going to be converting that into JSON object, yes or no? And same thing. JS array converting into JSON array. Next, parsing, converting JSON to JS. Converting JSON to JS. Same concept. JS object converting to JSON.parse. What parse method can do? JS. Okay, fine. Next, JSON array parsing to JS. Fine, guys. ARRAY array. Now let me write a program first. Stringify. Then we do parse. Can we do stringify first? Next, first stringify. JSON.stringify. stringify dot html. Okay, so let me write a script. Everything should be inside the script tag. Why? Because of we are writing JavaScript. Where JSON object, JSON object. I am taking one JSON object. So where is the JSON object? This is the one key. Okay. Starting with curly braces, closing with curly braces, and ID. Oh, outside double
Single
quotes
quotes,
not
sir.
allowed. Outside double quotes not allowed. Why? Because of we are giving inside single quotes. Inside double quotes. JSON having only double quotes. Then we need to take single quotes outside. And employee name done, employee ID done, employee salary. Okay. Just JSON file. This is the JSON file. What I want to do? I want to do parse where JS object. I want to convert that into the JS object is equal to JSON dot stringify. No. What I am doing? So this is JSON, right? Okay. So let me do the parse first. This is parse. What is now parse? Now parse. So what is doing parsing? What you are doing parsing for? JSON object. JSON. Now I just want to give the document.write JS object. JS object already done. Let it be. So let me right click on this, open in the default browser. Now we got object. JSON already converted to JavaScript. JSON already converted to JavaScript. But I want to print one by one. First employee name, second employee ID, third employee salary. How to do that? I don't want this one. This one is crazy. Dot emp name. And break. How to do the break? Document.write br slash. చెప్పు పిలిచావు రాజా. Next, this one is employee ID. Yes, this one is employee salary. Good. Now you'll be having the output. Sir, no. Next, this is what actually parsing is. Next, we do with array. Can I give a horizontal row for this? How to give horizontal row? Document.write HR. Good. HR is horizontal row, not human resources. That HR is different. This HR is different. This is having some horizontal row. After that, I want to do parsing for array. How to do parse array? Chepandi. Now this time this is JSON array. This time this is JSON array. Array is going to be starting with square braces. Copy the object. Take one more object. Square. That's it. Now this is JS array. And JSON.parse. Oh, JSON. Yes, copy this, paste here. And this time this is the first employee. I want to take the second employee. I want to take the third employee. Okay, this time this is array, right? Okay, first of all, this is array of first record 0 dot employee name. Yes sir, no? This is the way. Only first record I can able to see now. Only first record I can able to see. So this time I'm going to be giving the different names like Soumya. Who is Soumya in the class? No Soumyas? No Soumyas? Swapna. No Swapnas. Sweta. Who is Sweta? Okay, fine. Next, let me go with the execution. This is the first object, right? Let me go for the second object. Second object. Let me go for the third object. And this time, second object, index is 1. And this time, index is 2. So let me check the output of this program. All the employees came or not. Soumya, Swapna, Sweta. Just Pavani is coming from object. Pavani coming from object. And Soumya, Swapna, Sweta coming from array. So parsing is happening. Parsing is done. But this kind of parsing is not actually allowed in the real time. This kind of parsing is not allowed. We have to put a loop, for loop. Why? Because we may get 1,000 records. We may get 1 million records. 1 million times I can't able to write like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 million. You can write the program like that. That is a dummy program. Nonsense. So whenever you have the number of values, collection of data, you're going to be doing parse. You need to go with the loop. The next time, next class, I will go with the loops, for loops. After loops, I will take this program again without writing in this number of lines. I will do with the loop, one line code. With one for loop, I can able to do parse everything. After the section of the conditions and loops, I will take this. Maybe in the next class tomorrow section, we are going to be having 3 kind of concepts like operators, loops, conditions, basic level fundamental programming skills. Operators, loops, conditions. Everywhere, even any programming language, these kind of concepts are very, very common. Okay, so in one class, one day, tomorrow session, I am going to be cover those things, and I will take again JSON array program, and I will do parse with the for loop. Till today, you have to do with this. Now, this is the program for. This is the program for JSON parse. Yes or no? JSON dot parse. Now you people tell me stringify process. Now you people tell me stringify process. This is parse. This is stringify program. Now tell me stringify. Stringify means what? Your JavaScript object need to be converted into JSON object. So where is your JavaScript object first of all? Okay, let me create one JavaScript object. Where JS object is equal to, this is JS object. In JS object, single quotes allowed. Allowed. Employee ID 1001. Employee name, every time employee itself. PRD ID, PRD name. PRD name something like Samsung. Okay, chale, and PRD ID, PRD name, enough. I don't want to go with the bigger one. I'm getting bored and irritating. And where JSON object is equal to JSON.stringify. The method is what? JSON.stringify. Inside the stringify, I need to give the JS object. And finally, document.write a JSON object. Enough. What is the output of this? You can see the output. JSON got printed. Let me check this is the valid JSON or not. Let me check that is a valid JSON or not. You click on the validate. Oh my god, error. Oh my God.
What's the square bracket?
Oh, okay. Validation. In the validation, we given the square bracket. Okay, fine. Validate now. Valid JSON. Your JavaScript converted to JSON. So this is the JSON, not JavaScript. Now see the difference between that and this. See the difference between this and this. What is the difference between JavaScript to JSON? So product ID in the single quotes converted into double quotes. Product name in single quotes converted into double quotes. Automatically. Why? Because of parsing. Sorry, stringifying to JSON. Your JavaScript object stringifying to JSON. With the method, this is the method it is using for stringifying. Your all single quotes converting into double quotes. Why? Because of single quotes available are allowed in the JavaScript, single quotes not allowed in the JSON. Automatically it is making conversion.
Yes, sir.
Going to Pelli Chupulu, sunglasses are arranging. Huh? Why? Undu, chapter.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so this is object already stringified. Now can I go with array? Yes, I will close it within 5 minutes. Document dot write HR. Next, I will take one JavaScript array. JS array. How to take JS array? Okay, JS array. Let me take a array. Array means square brackets. Take multiple objects. Copy, comma, paste, comma, paste. Array close. Now this time this product is whatever it may be, no problem. Now where JSON array is equal to JSON dot stringify, and this array is going to be holding into the method. Then finally document dot write. What this output is? JSON. Now output is very simple, straightforward. First time we are getting object, second time we are getting array. Just take this array, put in the validator, click on validate. Yes, validated. This is the valid JSON. This is the valid. So this is the output for that. This is output for that. So we are doing two things. We are learning or we are understanding JSON first, and we are trying to working on parsing methods. We are trying to working on stringify. So your assignment is very big assignment. The thing is, everybody have to show me this number of JSON files. College details, village details, products details, shopping details, electronics, elections, sports, whatever you want. Just show me the different kind of assignments. Everybody have to show that.